The gods have been woken here in Hull. There were some fearsome looks in that haka. It always stirs the blood, Willie, no doubt about it.
Yeah, for sure. Gets the heart racing, gets the crowd involved, and everyone will be excited for what's to come now for the next 80 minutes, led by that. And what a great way to start us off here tonight.
Big moment too for the young boys and girls out on the field. Marcus Griffiths with the charge of the game tonight in the middle. Hard to know whether we'll have too much video referee intervention in the match. One last huddle for the Jamaican players. I mean, you tell me about the nerves. I mean, would they have slept well last night? How could you possibly be relaxed with the fury you're about to face?
Well, the Jamaican culture is pretty relaxed.
Well, yes.
Yeah, knowing from my heritage, I know what them boys will have been like in camp last night, and they will have been loving every moment. There's something magic about the island of Jamaica. You see with the music and the food, and the culture just spreads wide. And these boys will just be coming here tonight and just wanting to give the best and wanting to make the island proud.
This ground hosted the Super League Grand Final in 2020. We've just had one breakaway from the huddle with Ashton Golding, the captain. Just a word with the referee. I'm not quite sure what that was all about, but he's back in the huddle now to address the team. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Having one last word with the referee, why not? Tell them to get them on side even before kickoff. That would be breaking new territory. I think we're going to be entertained tonight. That's what is happening. And with Jordan and with Willie, we'll try and take you for the journey tonight. It is World Cup Rugby League. After what we've all been through the last couple of years, how good is it to be back united? The Jamaican team take a knee on halfway. The Kiwis are ready. And this is another step along the way on the journey of Jamaican Rugby League. I think of the pioneers, those that kicked off with the domestic competition many years ago, 2005. Just 4 teams. They had a dream. Their dream has been lived out. We're underway on a Saturday night in Hull. And a short kick-off by the Jamaicans, and they have an early victory. Well, that's one better than Scotland last night. Jamaica has come up with a ball and will mount the first attack on these Kiwis here. I don't know whether they were expecting it, but it was a very well-executed play. The young halfback looked pretty good first week, Kieran Rush. I think he's one to follow. In fact, if they get a decent share of the ball, Woodburn Hall and Rush are both very competent players, the halves for Jamaica. And they have big jobs to do. Joe Brown on the run.
I just want to commend Jamaica there for the start. How brave. That's what we want to see from Jamaica. Throwing caution to the wind and just having a go. If they try to go set for set with New Zealand, it's not going to work in their favour. But yeah, great start for Jamaica.
AJ Wallace got them to within 10, and then yes, Woodburn Hall. I said these halves, they've got some confidence about them, no fear, and put on the play.
And I agree with Jordan. That's how they've got to play tonight. They've got to play free. They've got to play and express themselves. The short kick-off, fantastic start, and that's how they're going to try and get some field position to do what they've done and put the Kiwis under pressure. Great start for Jamaica.
Ben Jones-Bishop, the number one, was close to it. How good is it for Jamaica to have a player of Ben's experience, can share with them the experience of preparing for Super League Grand Finals, Challenge Cups, World Club Challenge matches. He's got a big part to play, the man with the number one on his back for Jamaica. He mightn't be the actual captain, but he's a leader out there for sure. So here is Jamaica, 25 metres away from the New Zealand line. With Golding taking them left, and an early kick back towards the post. Ooh. It would have been good if it hit the upright padding, but it's gone under the crossbar and over the dead ball line. But we've seen 2 kicks, the 7 and the 6, asking questions.
Again, that's exactly what we want to see from Jamaica, being brave and throwing caution to the wind. Great great confidence there from Kieran Rush to put the kick over the top, and who cares at the minute that it went out? It's only early minutes of the game, and Jamaica are here to play. That's what we want to see.
Of course, there's the mix of players in this Jamaican side that are playing here in England, but there are others from the domestic competition out in the West Indies. I was watching in warm-up the 24, Andrew Simpson, who's now positioned out on the left wing. I mean, he was soaking it all in. He was loving it. The crowds he must play before to find himself here in this stadium tonight. So the Kiwis spread it right. Hiku, flat pass. With it is Dallin Watene-Zelezniak, back to Foran. Foran cut down just 3 metres away from the line. Set restart Kiwis, that won't help the Jamaicans. Hiku, he was one of the try scorers against Jamaica, against Lebanon rather, in their first match. There's a big line to the left. Joey Manu has drifted around to the right. Here he is, man of the match from the first game. Tonight he is playing 5'8", or stand off with Dylan Brown, sidelined. Now Foran, show of the ball, working left side. There is what appeared to be a 4-on-3. Charles Nicol Klukstad held up there. He's into the side at fullback with Manu to 5'8". Jamaica so far okay in defence. Ball on the bounce to Manu. Big hole there. Watene-Zelezniak, a professional finisher. Dive and one-hander. And Dallin Watene-Zelezniak scores the first try for the Kiwis.
And already the Kiwis showing their intent to play with shape and spread the ball. Kieran Foran finding a couple of holes. Joey Manu scheming, having a look down the short side. And then finally a long shift out to the right-hand side, just pulling the Jamaican defence apart. And Dallin Watene-Zelezniak off a great pass from Joey Manu opens the scoring for the Kiwis in the corner. And after the Jamaican side did really well to defend the set in the main part after going back-to-back and just couldn't quite have the answer. And a start for the Kiwis after soaking up some pressure from Jamaica to start with.
And it's just going to be a contest.
One of many wonderful finishes that those that follow the NRL get to see on a weekly basis. Dallin Watene-Zelezniak. He is actually the only current New Zealand Warrior in this Kiwi squad. They've got a couple that will be joining them next year, Nyakore and Nicol Klukstad, but it's pretty disappointing if you're a Warriors fan, Willie, to think that only one of your team is in the national squad.
For sure, and unheard of. Since the Warriors' inception, since they came in, they've had the bulk of the Kiwi squads whenever they've been assembled. And as a Warriors fan, pretty disappointing, but because it's a reflection of how their season's been.
Kieran Foran, not the strongest of kicks, first up. And this man too, Jordan, I mean, he's got an incredible rap in his scrapbook. Captain New Zealand to beat Australia. He captained New Zealand 5 times, and one of those wins over the Kangaroos is a nice one to have in the resume.
Yeah, any win over the Australia is, fantastic. But yeah, just going back to the game, Vossi, a couple of great things there from Jamaica was the ruck control, which is evident to see that Jermaine Coleman's told the boys to control the ruck and being aggressive on the edges. I just think they need to watch out for the slick skill from New Zealand.
Well, they've done it again on the short kickoff. They are 2 from 2, and that was caught as clean as a whistle. Wonderful stuff by Jamaica. Here it is again. Perfect distance, good hang time, both by kick of ball and man trying to catch.
Yeah, I think Michael Maguire won't be too happy with that. He'll be saying into the New Zealand players saying that's twice now they've been caught out on short kickoffs.
Working left with Jacob Ogden from the York City Knights, playing here tonight for Jamaica. So a little bit of field position for them. They look pretty good the first time down here. And both halves have shown us they're scheming kickers. Michael Lawrence to play it inside the 20. Rush goes again, the left footer. That wasn't his best. He was under a bit of pressure there. It's well before the last as well. But under pressure from Fisher Harris. And the Kiwis back with the ball.
And that's twice now. They've kicked early in the piece to try and catch the Kiwis off guard. And you can see it's by design. And great work by the skipper, James Fisher Harris, to read that and get the pressure from the inside. He was the one that put Kieran Rush under all sorts of pressure to rush the kick and muff it up.
Another set restart there, the horn going off early. Britton Nakora was lifted a little in the tackle there. They're putting a bit of whack into the defence and have got a strip as well. Well, we've seen 2 short kickoffs. Now we've seen the ball strip, and that is great work. Moses Leota losing the ball and probably a little embarrassed to do so.
That's the kind of stuff that Jamaica are going to have to do. They're going to have to make it hard and make it a niggly game for New Zealand. I agree with the kicks early to try and catch New Zealand off guard, but the kick selection needs to be a little better from Kieran Rush. It looks as though his namesake, he's rushing his kick a little bit, but if his kick selection can be a little bit better and he puts a bit more method into his kick, I think there's something in that for Jamaica.
So on the previous run, Joe Brown, he's worked hard early. This time, Keenan Tomlinson hit hard. Man from Dewsbury, and ball was turned over as a result. It was heavy traffic he was running into, and the Kiwis have come up with a ball. But through 8.5 minutes, just the one try, not the absolute flurry of points many were anticipating. And it's credit to Jamaica for that at this point.
Very much so. The majority of the game's been played down in the Kiwis' half, and that's credit to Jamaica and how they've played the game.
Now short side the Kiwis. And Kenny Bromwich, who scored the opening try against Lebanon. Very good player on the left edge. They've got Nia Nakora out on the right. And across it comes Gwateni Zalesniak. This time at centre. Has put it on the chest to Petahiku to go over. They have their second try. It's almost scored on the same blade of grass as the first.
And the build-up was very similar. Going down the left-hand side, tying up the defensive line of the Jamaican side, really pulling them in tight, and a nice play out to the right-hand side. Petahiku and Dallin Watene-Zelezniak actually swapped over centre and wing position, and a nice setup from Dallin to draw the winger to put Petahiku in the corner, in the same spot where Dallin actually put it down for the first one. Nice patience from the Kiwis.
I think, like Willie says, it's a great point that he made. This shift from left to right, Jamaica are really struggling with it. The line's getting caught really tight and the winger's getting caught out of position, and they're really clinical down this right-hand side. I think it's been a great start from Petahiku. He's worked really hard, and Jamaica are really struggling to contain him in yardage and good balls. Great start from Petahiku.
Hiku's been a very handy player. Well, better than handy for a long, long time. In fact, England fans will remember there was a tour here where he filled in at number 6 for New Zealand. This year he's had a super season for the North Queensland Cowboys in the NRL. They got within one game of the grand final, and he's served a number of clubs now very well. So Foran, he's not a first choice kicker in the NRL, and perhaps his first 2 have showed why. I saw Kieran Foran once right in front not get it as high as the crossbar. Hard one to live down, that, as a first choice kicker.
And just going back to Petahiku, right back to when he started in first grade at Manly, and when he comes through, he's really matured. I agree with what you're saying. And he spent a bit of time over here with the Warrington Wolves. Of course, playing in the Super League, and for the short time he was here, he was a fantastic player for them, and went back to the Warriors and kicked on.
Yeah, well, he was handpicked by the Cowboys this year. Todd Payton, the coach there for the Cowboys, he just wanted to pray. Now, here we go. Can they do 3 out of 3, Jordan?
They're going for it again, but it's a bit too long.
They're on the short, or the long short kickoff there.
I think it was a medium kickoff.
Yes, that was not quite right, that one.
It was more of a scooper.
What are you calling it? A scooper?
More of a scooper.
Okay, they went the scooper that time. The first time I've heard that expression. And now Fisher Harris with the ball up over halfway. They appear to be getting in their groove. Comes off the mark there, and back we go again. Isaac Liu. A quiet season, plays for the Justin Holbrook coached Gold Coast Titans in the NRL. Joey Manu with the ball. You know how elusive he can be. Last tackle for the Kiwis. And short side with Foran. Little banana kick back in field. And no panic. Cool heads by Jamaica. And Golding it is who came up with the ball 5 minutes out from the line.
And they'll be pretty happy with the way they defended that set. And now, as Jordan's saying, they're throwing the ball around, opening the game up.
Yeah, Jamaica needs some field position now. They need to offload the ball, like Willie just said. And you could see in New Zealand's attack then, they're just starting to get into the groove, and the ruck speed is just starting to speed up a little bit. I hope Jamaica can sort of try and control the ruck speed, as they're going to be hard to stop if they keep that up.
And over the 40-metre line they go. By the way, we call from high up in the stand. You can't get any higher. In fact, I think we're showing up on NASA's radar tonight. We're that high at the stadium. Oh, that's a good kick too from inside their half. So nice tactics from Jamaica, but having that high angle, what you do observe here is the distance between the 30 and 40-metre lines is about 6 metres. There's so I think we're playing 46-metre halves at best here. They haven't even tried to hide it. They've just made a very short area between the 30 and the 40.
Have you ever been to Castleford, Vossi?
Castleford is one ground I haven't called at in the World Cup. Please
Okay.
tell me, talk to me.
That's my current club, that's where I play. And I reckon if you look at the 30 and the 40 between them, there might be about 3 metres.
Okay.
It's a fantastic place to play though, fantastic place.
40-20s galore.
Well said. I think I'll put that on my visits. Can you name a restaurant in Castleford, an eating establishment I should drop into on the way? A trip to Cas Vegas, lock it in. As here is Manu. Floating ball. Nakora now. Watene Zalesiak. Now he's back on the wing. And now he's got his second try. Close to the dead ball line. DWZ. Dallin Watene Zalesiak. A try double. And through the last pass for the other try, he's had an outstanding start to the game.
And they didn't get the ruck control that they wanted on that occasion. They got on the front foot, the Kiwis. There was a long ball out to Dallin Watene Zalesiak, who had to do a lot of work himself. It was a right foot step to get inside his winger, and a great turn of speed and acceleration off the mark to beat the fullback and get himself over for his second for the night.
The target in this right side, and you know, Jamaica are really struggling to cope with it. And I've been really impressed with Hiku again and Watene Zalesiak. So slick down this right hand side, and that's why they're the best about. Just finish out of nowhere.
Part of our job here at the World Cup is to tell the stories, the backstories of players. Interesting character Dallin. He's with his brother Malachi. They actually have a watch brand, the DWZ watches. And we're not talking, you know, watches in the overcoat that you take down to the park and show. We're talking top quality, Jordan. I might be able to fix you up with one.
How much do they cost?
Well, they're not cheap, but nor should they be. They are a quality product. So DWZ watches, Google them if you like. The Brains Trust is Dallin and his brother Malachi. And Foreigners has got one. And relieved to have one. 1 from 3, a 14-0 scoreline. And here he is. You talk about your professionals. Really good player and has been for a long time, Dallin Watene Zalesiak.
As you said before, he's captained the side. He's been in the side a long time. And he's moved around a couple of clubs in the NRL, finding a home at the Warriors, as you said before. But a real mainstay of this Kiwi team for the last couple of years.
So, short kick-off number 4. That's not a scooper. They've got the range right on this one, and they've done it again. They're the best. Oh, come on, referee Griffiths. No. Your eyes are painted on. What do you see there? He scored a knock-on. Not that we want him to bend the rules, but it looked pretty clean, and they're going to challenge it as well. Here's the catch. The leap up there. That's fine.
Perfect placement.
Willie, come on. That's fine.
Perfect placement. Yeah, I can't see much wrong. I think it's James Woodburn Hall.
All right, let's bring in video referee into this one. Chris Kendall.
Okay, video referee to director. We have a captain's challenge. Jamaica are challenging the ruling of a knock-on. Can I check all available angles on the catch, please? Looking at the ball. Takes possession cleanly. Definitely takes possession cleanly. It's then if there's a knock-on the ground or not. Yeah, if we go back on that angle, please. If we go back on that angle, if we can. Yeah, we'll look at this one.
He did everything right in the catch. It's just the landing where I think he just loses control.
See clearly on that one, but if we could go to that, the last angle that we showed, to go slow. Is there any separation at any point? He takes possession. If we go slow at this point now, and then loses possession of the ball. Challenge is unsuccessful.
Worth a crack. Worth a crack.
2 out of 4.
That's right.
2 out of 4.
That's right.
Keep doing it though, because you know, New Zealand don't seem to be. They seem to be clocking off as soon as the short kick-off goes up, and it's a way for Jamaicans to get the ball back. So keep doing it.
All right, so a scrum, the result on the 30-metre line, which is 6 metres away from the 40-metre line, and we've established that point. We won't labour it. And it's time for the Joey Manu show to get involved. Chance Nickel Clockstar taken down 10 metres out, but I'm just thinking Manu will now put his stamp on it. If you think we have high expectations of this bloke, they are well-founded. Incredible player. If you missed the first game the Kiwis played against Lebanon, now he's playing 5'8" tonight. He may get even more touches. Here's for it. He just tapped it on there, Manu. Out of that left wing is Sebastian Chris from the Canberra Raiders in the NRL, playing his first test tonight. Now chip over the top from Manu. Well covered up by the Jamaicans. Not for the first time. They've saved a kick play, and Woodburn Hall was all over it.
And probably a little bit too adventurous from Joey Manu then. I don't think Michael Maguire will be too happy with that piece of play. But yeah, he'll come into his own very, very much so. Such as his quality.
So Jamaica back up to the 40-metre line, toiling hard. Wouldn't be something if they managed the penalty goal on half-time against Ireland. Wouldn't it bring the house down if they could somehow snare a 4-pointer here? It's been a steady set from them. They get to the last. And this time the kick was knocked down from Kieran Rush. I don't know whether they call it a charge down or he found the defender. Dallin Watene-Zelezniak is off again. He's doing a Josh Addo-Carr. Let's trot, baby. All the way to the end goal. He has a hat-trick in 18 and a half minutes. How many will he score tonight? Everyone gets a watch if he gets 5. I've made that up.
The price of his watches might skyrocket tonight, so
That's
I will
right,
have one of them. I'll have one of them off you, Vossi. Well, look, wow, it's hard to describe that play there from the backfield from New Zealand. That is top quality. That's something that's taught on the training ground over and over again for the outside backs to be alive when the ball's being kicked. And what if you see where Watene-Zelezniak came from? His positioning was unbelievable there, and that's what he was on his bike. Sorry, on his bike he was proactive, and he was moving before the ball had even come. He anticipated where the ball was going to be, and that's why he was in position to score. Unbelievable try.
He was thinking try the moment he caught it, wasn't he?
He saw that, and I think Kieran Foran felt that. As soon as he felt him on his outside and felt the space was there, he just knew he had to get it to him somehow. The fantastic counter-attack. Just disappointing for young Kieran Rush. There's a couple of times now he's been charged down, or he hasn't quite got the kickoff as he would like. Probably needs to adjust his depth a little bit. He kicked it into a Kiwi defender, and the deflection was what caused the Kiwis to get the ball in the field position that they did.
Yeah, he found the defender rather than the defender finding the ball. Obviously, Rush was looking to take the ball out of play, but you got to have a clear passage to attempt that low kick. So, look, I'd be backing myself. I don't know about you, Jordan, but I'd be throwing one up there and seeing how they fare.
It's like I said before, Vossi, about the kick selection. The kick is the right idea, but Kieran Rush just isn't getting the selection right. And he's a young kid, and he'll learn stuff throughout this game, and he will get his kicking game better, I believe, because he's a good kid and he knows the game very well. He's a smart player. But just going back to Kieran Foran there, and I just want to describe an elite piece of play. because you see he didn't even look where Martin Zalesniak is, and that's what you said, Willie, and he knew that he was going to be on his shoulder, and that's something that the top level players, they just know that the teammate's going to be in a certain position at a certain time.
Been a great comeback for Kieran Foran. A few years ago, if you watch the NRL, you would have probably thought he's gone. You know, career gone. Now he's back on the test stage. He's put together 2 good injury-free seasons, and 32, here he is again. Short kick-off, number 5, they've done it again! Yeehaw! Jamaica and these short kick-offs, the Reggae Warriors.
You see, Vossi, how infectious the Jamaican culture is. We're celebrating kick-offs more than we're celebrating tries.
That's right. That's right. Is there a betting market? Gamble responsibly, folks. But was there a short kick-off betting market? There will be one after tonight. And Jamaica have a chance. They are inside the 20. They are lined up long and left. Oh, I'm back at Andrew Simpson out here on the left wing. Wouldn't that be something if he got over? He is one of the locals playing in the Jamaican side. One of the domestic competition players. Brown to play it. He continues to work hard. 15 metres away from the line. Golding takes them left side. Rush the cutout ball. Flat-footed was Ogden. He's got away from one. And a penalty. It played advantage. The high shot.
I think it might have been Fisher Harris. He got Kieran Rush on the play before, trying to get some pressure from the inside as he was making the play. And he got away with it the play before. I don't think he quite got the timing right on this one.
Now, would you be cheeky here and put over 2 points? No, let's go the try.
No, come on. I think Jamaica need to experience what it's like to be in New Zealand's 10. There could be a chance of a try. I just think play the set out and see how it goes. It's pointless taking 2 points.
100%. Try and convert some of this field position that you're getting off some of these short kickoffs and the opportunities you're creating, and try and get some points and try and get across.
Fisher Harris, I got to say, he stayed with Rush. He knew that he'd got it wrong, but if you catch it on the replay, he actually tries and stops his fall. He realised his timing was out. So, look, I don't know whether you give him some credit for that. I think you have to, really.
The rules are sort of so defined on this now. Vossi, it goes down to, you know, how Kieran Rush's head has come off that. I think that's the main thing that we're looking at now, and how late it was.
Well, the young fella's up, and that's good to see. And the penalty is awarded. I still say Kieran Rush is worth investing in, and getting this experience at this level is going to do him the world of good. So here is a red-hot go for Jamaica. Lawrence with a first run, 3 metres away from the line. Maybe Golding will have a little cheeky shot himself. I know he's opposite Brandon Smithwood at dummy half. Close to the line, he will have a crack. He tries to burrow in, not quite. That's 3 tackles up for Jamaica. New Zealand's goal line defence being tested. Left side, ricochet. Ball comes up with Brandon Smith. The Kiwis hang on. He's kicking before the last. I don't mind it from time to time. I don't know about every time, Jordan.
That's obvious that it must have been a part of the game plan to kick on the early tackles, try and catch New Zealand out. But like you said, we're all for the kicks, but it has to be in the right time and the right place. There's just a lot of panic there from Jamaica. It looks like someone wants to be the first person to score a try in the World Cup for Jamaica, and just play the game, boys. Just keep trying as hard as you can. Stick to your structures when you get into the 10, and something will come up for you.
And now the Kiwis, Manu lets it rip. Out it goes for Sebastian Chris. He's over halfway. He's a big, strong centre in the NRL. And offloading. And those coming back. Geez, hard to put down Manu. Referee Griffiths wants a play the ball. Manu wanted to just keep it going. So now to the right, Foran offloading. Nakora, Brent Nakora, bounced away from Simpson. He's headed a good 25 metres across field and loses the ball. Jamaica showing plenty of fight.
Short 10, get back 0.
And forcing the Kiwis into a bit of a trap here. Forcing them to play a bit lateral, which is not the go for them. It's when they're punching through the middle with the likes of Liu, the likes of Leota and James Fisher-Harris. When they're punching through the middle, twice then they try to go around them, and the holes can get a little bit too inviting and can be dangerous.
In a moment, you'll see the number 22 for Jamaica, Siobhan Bailey, has run out there. He's another one that plays this local league. It's the Dunhaney
7 metres.
The Red Sharks. They are in the I think they've won 14 of 16 grand finals, I think is the record that I read since the domestic competition started. Just the 4 teams, but they're the club you want to play for, the Dunhaney Park Red Sharks. So he'll have his moment here. And with that touch, they are 31 metres away from the Kiwis line. In terms of field position, they've had as many opportunities as New Zealand. And almost getting away. Tackle around the legs by Brandon Smith. Set restart. Jamaica. The crowd is getting on their backs here. Bailey to play it. Can they come up with a try?
I think the offloads are causing a lot of problems for New Zealand, Vossi. I think the more offloads that Jamaican can get in New Zealand's 20, the better. I think the structure is quite easy to read. More offloads.
There's Bailey again with another touch. He's had 2 in the set. Lawrence, meantime, the big number 10, he's trying to put a dent in them. The kick again before the last. Double ricochet. New Zealand come up with a ball. And it's just not quite happening. If they're trying to thread the needle, the cotton is missing the needle and no buttons are getting put back on the shirt as a result. They are not getting the desired result here, Jamaica, with their kicks close to the line.
No, and you go back to the first set of the game where they did play out the set and they got a repeat set. Be happy to do that for a little while.
Still wouldn't mind seeing a high ball. They've had success. The kick-off in the air as Foran almost crashing through. 9 metres away. They set Watene Zalesniak side again. Here it comes. Across in quick hands. Nicol Klukstad. Hiku. Oh, and put down. I think it almost hit Nelson Asafa-Solomona in the head. The biggest centre the world has ever seen. They can hit him in the melon.
What was he doing there?
He caught Peter Hiku by surprise, seeing the big fella outside of him.
Oh, it's got him in the mush.
I think he's just come on the pitch, hasn't he? Has he just come back? Has he just come on?
I'm pretty sure it gets him. Yeah, it's got him right in the face.
I think Hiku was trying to fight. He thought someone was on the wing, and then Solomona turned up in the centre, just popped up. But I think going back to the game, I think what you're going to see now is Jamaica sort of start to struggle because the kicks in the good ball that are just not getting through and returning the ball back to New Zealand. It's going to be taxing on the Jamaica forwards, and you know keep getting rolled 100 metres every set is going to take its toll. And it's been so competitive up to now. I think people would have thought that the score would have already blown out, but hopefully they can put the kicks to bed and sort that side of the game out. And then, you know, there's still a competitive edge there from Jamaica. It's good to see.
Look, maybe they did go back and watch that game from 22 years ago at the World Cup, Australia-Russia, the 110-4. I can still clearly remember like yesterday. It's a Robert Campbell kick for a Matt Donovan try in the corner that beat Wendell Saylor pointless. The Kangaroos winger caught totally by surprise. Turned around and found the Russian winger Matt Donovan sprinting past him and got the try. A shock tactic, but you can't go with a shock tactic every set. It defeats the purpose of the shock tactic.
Yeah, and a little bit is the timing and the placement of the kicks. You're talking about the high kicks. But when they've kicked early and they've found some depth and it's been by design, some of it you just feel like it's been panicky. It's when there's no other choice, and Kieran Rush has just tried to thread the needle through when there's been too much traffic around.
Last tackle here for Jamaica, back up towards halfway. It's a completed set, and that's to their credit. I mean, they may be feeling a bit of fatigue now, and fatigue can mean mistakes, but they got through the set. Chance Nicol Klukstad all the way back to halfway. Exciting run. In fact, Chris went to fullback, and now the Kiwis with Hiku. He's inside the 20. Can't pass to Watene Zalesniak. Big metres being made here. The Kiwis with Nakora. You'd find it hard to see Jamaica hanging on in this set. So Chris has moved to fullback. And now he finds himself back out on left wing. Ball doesn't get to him. Marata Niukore with it. And Marata Niukore, well, he made a few turnstiles there. And helps himself to a 4-pointer with a New Zealand shirt on his back. 22-0 the Kiwis over Jamaica.
Not quite at the levels of skill that they would like the Kiwis or expect out of themselves, but still have enough power to get themselves over the line. And it started with Sebastian Chris's kick return. A fantastic effort to bust a couple of defenders and get himself 50 metres up the field. The big fella's got some pace, and they've had to scramble and they get Jamaica on the back foot, and they just got him tweaking here a little bit now. They got him towing here. A bit gassed, the Jamaican side. And if, as you said, we're talking about when they get the ball, play out a couple of sets and conserve some energy that way.
I think that's what you can see there, Willie. You can see the naivety of Jamaica's end of sets is coming to bite them. A few tired efforts at the end there, and it's not through lack of not wanting to do. It's a lack of smarts up at the other end of the pitch, and people who realise, who play the game, and New Zealand will realise at the top echelons of the game, you just can't do that, because the amount of energy that it saps from you, you can't put the efforts in the little parts of the game to be able to stop tries like that.
And Kieran Foran, well, he gets that one. He's no Reece Martin, but he's back on a streak of one now with that one, and he's 24-0. Foran is 2 from 5. Niukore, he is bound for the New Zealand Warriors in the NRL next year, a big signing for them from Parramatta, and Parramatta, of course, played in the grand final. Third test tonight, playing for New Zealand, also eligible for the Cook Islands. And showing his versatility too. It's something he has done in the NRL, play centre before. Starting centre tonight, short kickoff. Here's one of the highlights of the night. And here they come. They've knocked it forward, have they? And New Zealand come up with a ball. Well, if a lot of tries are scored, we're going to see a lot of short kickoffs. It could be a world record in short kickoffs. I don't know what the figure is, but I reckon we can set it tonight.
I was just about to ask you that, boss.
No,
that would be some stat if you knew that.
No, that's some homework for you at half-time, Jordan, actually. If you could just work on that. Go back to 1895, if you could. Scan the books. Here's Manu. Well, we put the big expectations on Joseph. He hasn't quite been as dominant as we thought tonight. And that is credit to Jamaica. Last tackle here.
On the foot. Go now.
Injury for Niukore there. Kick from Foran. Well, someone has to compete, and compete well they do. Well, for effort, Ben Jones-Bishop coming up with the ball, but for effort, I'm giving Jamaica 10 out of 10 this first half.
Agreed. They've tried things. They've got themselves in field position. The sheer physicality and class has shone through on the occasions when they've scored for the Kiwis. But effort-wise, you can't fault them for, where they've tried to play the game, and each individual, what they've tried to put forward and how they've impacted the game. Totally 10 for 10 for effort.
So now into the Kiwis half, and showing again a little bit of variation. The dummy half run on 5 and making 10 metres. Now Rush, good to see the bomb, why not? At Watene Zalesiak, Simpson was getting through. He was escorted off the ball a little, I thought, by Hiku. But New Zealand that's a really good set again from Jamaica.
Very good, and a good kick on the end. Great kick selection on the end of the set. It's just, look, if you look at this now, Vossi, the ruck's getting really, really quick, and that spells danger for Jamaica. Some tired bodies out there now.
7 minutes remaining in this first half. This fella won't give them any let up. Isaiah Papali'i. Scott Sorensen coming off the bench on debut tonight. Nakora with the ball here for New Zealand. You know the name of Sorensen well here. He is the nephew of Kurt and Dane. Foran's bomb. And another good take at the back. There was a little bobble, but confidence to own it. And as I said earlier, Jones-Bishop has a real role to play with this Jamaican squad. I'm so happy at 34 he's part of this World Cup.
Yeah, making his 300th appearance tonight. He's been a great servant of the game over here, and it's great to see Bish getting to play on a stage like this. And he's been a part of this journey for a long time with Jamaica, and it was part of the squad that went and paid their own way to qualify for this World Cup. So, yeah, great to see Ben out there and playing well.
Sorensen out there on debut for New Zealand. He's a two-time grand final winner. That ball, well, yes, it's been thrown forward and bounced forward. So this will put pressure on. But this is an area they have been good at. When you're playing vastly superior opposition, one of your goals has to be not to let them start a set inside your half. And Jamaica haven't allowed the Kiwis until now a real opportunity.
No, they've kicked a lot. They've kicked early and they've kicked a lot, and they haven't had a lot of yardage sets. But when they have, generally they have kicked well. And yeah, disappointing that they've finished the set that way and then put themselves under a bit of defensive pressure here.
Murata Niukore, I think he'll be off for the Kiwis. He was getting treatment while that scrum was forming. And a differential penalty there. Offside, they're trying to get Niukore off in back play. Not quite sure whether anyone on the bench has seen that. So he'll jog off the field. And it'll be Jeremy Marshall-King to come into the game. He could be stopgap out in the centres. Brandon Smith will have a run at them. And Brandon Smith held up 5 metres away from the line. 5 tries next to the Kiwis in this first half so far. And straight away at a dummy half. Strong push from Sorensen. Did score a try in the NRL Grand Final. Now, Big Nelson. Nelson Asafa Solomona is short of the line. He's certainly not short.
He's still got it. 4, go.
I can tell you that. Back it comes. Foran kept alive. Nice hands. Marshall-King to Hiku. Been knocked down by Simpson. And Jamaica have the ball, but they save the try. And it will be a New Zealand ball centre field.
Yeah, I worry for Jamaica as well on these turnovers on the scrums. You know, the elite teams, as you saw, Australia scored quite a couple of tries from the scrums, and I think England scored a couple of tries from scrums as well. It's a tough place to be in now for Jamaica, but defending 3-on-3 on 3-on-4 on their own try line, it's a dangerous place to be. They need to not turn the ball over for these scrums for New Zealand.
Just like Super League, mate.
Well, Kieran Foran spotted it a couple of times, and they're defending tight as well off the scrums are Jamaica. It's Joey Manu now's got some space.
Well, I haven't numbered up here. There was 4-on-3 from the scrum. Jamaica didn't react to it. And over in the corner, in his first match, his first test for New Zealand, Sebastian Kris scores. The replay will show New Zealand have 4 players on the left side of the scrum against 3 defenders. There was no reaction.
Yeah, it's what the modern day scrum's turned into now, where you're being able to pick where you can place it on the pitch. It becomes such a dangerous attacking play for the attacking side, and you know, Slick and New Zealand, you know, they've got great skill and it's quite easy for them to finish there. Shout out to Sebastian Kris though. I had a brief spell with him in Canberra when he was a young kid when I had my holiday. I had my holiday in Canberra. Yeah, him and Scott Sorensen were both there at the same time, and Sebastian Kris was this unassuming kid, and I think he had some troubles after I left. He went completely away from the game, and I think Jack Whiten really helped him out and sort of brought him back to the game, and wow, look where he is now. And I think Scott Sorensen also had a pretty similar story. He was knocking about in New South Wales Cup and didn't know where to go, and I was quite close with him. I was telling him, come over here, come to England. He was like, no, I'm going to stick it out. He's ended up winning 2 grand finals, and now he's playing for New Zealand. It just shows what hard work can do.
Everyone's got a story, and there's a couple there on Sebastian Kris and Scott Sorensen. I think we need to explore Jordan's trip to Australia a little more, into some of the tourist sites down in Canberra, Questacon and that. Here's Foran from the sideline. On his earlier kicks, he's big odds and blowing. It doesn't even... He does. Look, that's probably going to stop the really big score. With respect, Kieran, his kicking is not strong. He's 2 from 6 at 28-0.
I was going to say, I think Kieran Foran's halftime talk will be, can we score a bit closer to the post, please, boys? help my kicking out a little bit.
Yes, as I said earlier, he's no Reece Martin. But he's been thrust into the job here. Jordan Rapana, the first choice kicker from game one. He's actually the replacement player, the 18th man tonight. Kicked 5 goals against Lebanon. And they go long. No, the short kickoff has been benched. What's the thinking there, Jordan?
Maybe what's the stat now?
Yeah.
Have they got 2 back, 2 out of 5?
3 from 6, I think.
I think they're not going for the world record anymore.
So Kiwis with one last set before half-time for them. Hiku's on the run. Watene Zelezniak, brilliant hands. Kiwi jerseys everywhere inside. Marshall King, gets the bounce. Well, he didn't get the bounce, but still roped it in. It was skidding, it was standing up, and somehow Jeremy Marshall King has done a magic trick, I think, to force this ball.
Once again, it's a shift out to the right-hand side, stripping them for numbers. Dylan Watene Zelezniak outstanding down this right wing.
Yeah, we're just looking at his stats there, Watene Zelezniak. Before that carry, he was at 171 metres. I think he'd be well over 200 metres now. I wonder what the record is for metres made in a game, Bossy.
Oh, look, that's some more homework for you, Jordan. Let's hear from Chris Kendall, video referee on this one.
Video referee to match director. It's tackle 2. We have a live call of try. Can we please check all available angles on onside, offside, through to the grounding? If we pause the ball on the foot. Yeah, it's a little bit further on from this.
Yeah, offside's
Okay, if we pause the ball on the foot, players must have both feet behind the ball to be classed as onside. Pause it there, yep. Both, just go back a frame, just pause it, yep. Both, yep. We can go on from there. Everyone is onside, everyone has both feet behind the ball. Straight through to grounding, please. Takes possession now. Okay, I can't see the dead ball line on that shot. Have you got anything a bit further out?
And it is a try.
If we have anything else on that, yeah, this will be it. Okay, he recatches the ball and grounds the ball in the field of play. I'm happy I've viewed all available angles and I've made my decision.
As he's bobbled the ball, he probably thought he lost his opportunity, but just had enough about him to regather and put it down just before touching the dead ball line. Wonderful sense of presence and patience.
The human card table. He just folded the legs up underneath to get the ball down. And Jeremy Marshall King, I mentioned at the first game, there'll be no prouder brother in the world than Benji, who played 31 tests for New Zealand. Seeing Jeremy on this stage of the World Cup, and now he's a try scorer for New Zealand as well.
Yeah, he'll be proud as punch in Sydney, watching his brother make his scoring debut for New Zealand here. But you go back to when he made his debut for the Dogs, and Benji doing the haka in the crowd, and how proud he was for his brother. You know, he'll be feeling those emotions again tonight.
Yeah, very good try, isn't it? I mean, it's a really classy try. It's skillful, classy, great way to go to half-time. New Zealand have 7 tries on the board, 3 from 7 off the boot of Kieran Foran. And at half-time, it is New Zealand leading Jamaica 34-0. And let's go on ground and hear from the New Zealand goal kicker, Kieran Foran, ready to speak with Ross.
Foran, how do you rate that first half performance then? Jamaica tougher than expected?
Yeah, look, it wasn't bad by us. I think our completions were down a little bit. You know, weren't finishing off some of the try-scoring opportunities in the corner, so we'll be a little bit disappointed in that. But overall, I thought we fought pretty hard.
And what's the plan for the second half then? Will we see things open up a bit more?
yeah, hopefully more of that. You know, as I said, we've got to focus on what we need to get right, and we'll be disappointed with a few patches of that, but I think overall it was pretty pleasing.
Well, good luck in that second half. You're sweating buckets. Go get a towel.
Thank you.
Cheers. Farrell, how was that then? I mean, they didn't blow you away, the world's best.
No, I think we've held us on pretty well for most of it. They keep breaking down the edges and burning us on the edge, but they're the best in the world for a reason. And they're going to get us on the edge. As long as they're not busting us out middle, then I guess we can hold our heads up a bit.
And you're loving the short kickoffs tonight.
Yeah, they seem to be working, don't they? They seem to be working. Woody's like a fish tonight up in the air, catching them all, so if it's working, might as well keep doing it.
And will we see you get a try in the second half?
I hope so.
Well, good luck. Thanks, mate. Cheers.
Well done. So the wingers having a good day, and you can take your pick as to what will happen in this second half. You know, are they going to be ruthless? I think Michael Maguire would demand they be ruthless, given the efforts of the other big guns in this competition. We're yet to see Tonga play their second game, but what Australia did last night, what we've been saying, what England did today, I think they have a duty to go on with it, New Zealand.
Yeah, Michael Maguire definitely will be demanding that they be ruthless, they be selfless, but they're also fighting for spots. There's a fair few blokes of some great quality, and I'll talk about Jesse Bromwich and the like, not playing this evening. Joseph Tapine, who you almost say would be featuring later in the stages of the World Cup. So there's some guys here who are fighting for spots, and you know they've got to take this opportunity and make the most of their opportunity here tonight.
You'd have to say, Willie, you've been around the scene a long time. The depth of this New Zealand forward pack, best ever.
Yeah, best ever, not seen for a long time, if ever. You know, the quality right through, as you're saying, to the Sorensens and the guys on the periphery, Jeremy Marshall-King. They've come into this tournament on the back of form as well, which hasn't been a luxury for the Kiwis. We've always taken a lot from the Warriors, but they've got guys who've, a lot of the chunk played in the grand final.
Well, in the NRL, Fisher Harris and Tapine, Joseph Tapine, were the two Dally M props of the year, the two best props in the competition. And they're part of this New Zealand squad that also includes front rowers like Moses Leota, you know, two-time grand final winner, Jesse Bromwich, one of the most experienced front rowers in any competition in the world. Nelson Asava-Solomona coming off the bench, pretty handy. I just think, you know, you stack them up against any side at this World Cup, their forward pack is maybe the best. Good to see the fans enjoying themselves here. Welcome again to MKM Stadium in Hull. 7 tries in the first half to New Zealand, but it's been played in a good spirit, some good skill, some surprise tactics from Jamaica. Let's see if they can reboot and go again. I'm telling you, it is still the biggest moment of their life. There's Kieran Foran. 3 goals from 7. Joey Manu has kicked a little in the NRL. A few of them have had a few shots, but you wouldn't call anyone of the support act. Foran may be the best option they have. There's only bit part kickers at best around him. Jamaican jerseys proving popular with fans as well. From that man, Dallin Watene-Zelezniak in the first half. He's practicing goal kicking. Can you believe that? I haven't seen that before. We're waiting to restart the second half, and Dallin Watene-Zelezniak has just had a practice shot at goal. I don't even know if that's allowed. He's come back on and taking practice shots at goal. I've never seen that ever, Willie, ever.
No, I've not seen that. I've seen it in the warm-up before the game, but not when the teams are about to resume the second half.
That's unbelievable. Well, I take it he's going to be the goal kicker now.
You mentioned the first half about Jamaica, and 10 out of 10 for their effort, and they walked off the first half. Really proud of what they left behind. That's what they've got to do the second half now, is just be proud of what they leave and leave everything out here for the next 40 minutes.
Second half underway, and Ben Jones-Bishop, who had some really good moments under the high ball, was the first man tackled in the second half. But the working efforts of their forward pack, Noah Goro there, you can see the wingers have played their part as well. So it's all about toiling away again for another 40 minutes. And as I said to you in the first half, it's okay to be a little biased to cheer for the underdog at a Rugby League World Cup. I would love nothing better than to see Jamaica come up with points in this second half. So AJ Wallace tackled there on the 30-metre line. Completion rate was good from the first half. That kick from Woodburn Hall. And Chance Nicol-Klokstad bringing the ball back for New Zealand. If you joined us late, Dylan Brown was down to play 5'8" today, but he picked up a stomach bug and was ruled out of the match. So this man, Joseph Manu, slots into 5'8", wearing the number 1 on his back. And Nicol-Klokstad into the side at fullback. So across with Smith and Foran, and a nice exchange. Hiku, their right side has been red hot until then. It was knocked down by Jamaica, so it'll be go again.
He's done all right there. A couple of times Andrew Simpson out on that left wing. You know, he's been left short. And a couple of times he's had to make a decision to come in and knock the ball down. Left in no man's land. And just backed off a little bit and gave Hiku probably a little bit too much time that he wanted to put Dylan Watene-Zelezniak away. And therefore Andrew Simpson getting the hand down.
Well, let's see from this scrum. They didn't get it right late in that first half. And again, we've got 4 on the left side of the scrum here. 2 on the right. And Jamaica playing the formation 3 and 3. So up to the left with Joey Manu, double fend. He had 15 tackle busts against Lebanon. Joey. They're 18 metres away from the line on tackle number 1. Marshall King has gone into an acting half roll. Got that try right on half time. Here they are in front of the sticks. And Big Nelson. They try and grab anything. Even the goalpost is stopping Nelson there. The big fella. He's almost as big as the padding. Have a look at him. You can wrap him around a post. He'll be forced back to the 10-metre line. Very ball rolled politely. Well, he has to go to the 10. There's a few lines there and he can get to either of them. Nelson, maybe short-sighted. Anyway, Kiwis go left side. And that time the defence stood back. And Chance Nicol-Klokstad has made his way to the in goal. That was not their best goal line effort of the night. And the New Zealand fullback has a try.
It looked like the initial play design was to go to the right-hand side to where Kieran Foran was. Had it not been for Nelson Asofa-Solomona having to go back and restart, they changed where they took the play out to the left-hand side, saw there was a 4-on-4 and just too much space for Chance Nicol-Klokstad to take him on one-on-one, too strong, too fast, and open the scoring here for the Kiwis in this second half. First time they've really played down this left-hand side.
There's a written rule in rugby league that you can't stand on your line and wait, otherwise, you know, it's the laws of physics. If there's a big man running at you, he's going to take you over the line. It's a bit too easy there for Chance Nicol-Klokstad. I think coming from Michael Maguire, what he'll be looking at now, I don't think he'll be looking at the score. I think he'll be looking at what players going forward he can trust, and what players, now that they're in front by quite a big score, what players he's going to be able to rely on. You know, when things get a little bit tough, and you know when times are easy, because I know head coaches will be able to tell you that, you know, you want them players that aren't going to switch off.
Well, surprise, surprise, Dylan Watene-Zelezniak takes over goal kicker and gets it, and they have their first points of the second half. Converted try. Ross Fidesz on the sideline.
Yeah, thanks, Fossey. Just a little update from the sidelines here. I'm told Niukore and Leota will not be returning for the second half. Both had ice packs on before they went down the tunnel. After first half, I noticed an ice pack for the upper chest of Niukore and on the leg of Leota. So I'll keep you posted on that. But both will not be returning for the second half.
And Ross, what about that? Jamaica have come up with the ball again. Jordan gives a little clap, gives it the little golf clap up here high in the stand. And Jamaica, field position again. AJ Wallace to play it. 25 metres away from the Kiwis line. Lawrence, nice build-up, rush with a cut-out ball. But Watene Zalesiak all over Jacob Ogden like a cheap suit there and has taken him back 15 metres. And Jamaica, as a result, now closer to halfway by a good 10 or 15 metres.
You mentioned Ben Jones-Bishop and how good he's been at the back and the high balls. He's really important in this area of the field. If they're going to play with some offloads and play with some pass plays, he's got to be sniffing and getting on the end of them.
Well, again, the halves are combined. Agoro with the lobbed pass, but lovely shape about their attack. Woodburn Hall and Kieran Rush, they're well coached and they're a good combination. Almost a collision there between Nickel Klukstar and Joey Manu. Chance has lost the compass and tackled centre field. So Kiwis back with the ball, but again, Jamaica enterprise with their attack.
I think there's been a little bit of disconnect there between the centre and the winger. If you look at Jamaica's winger on the long shape attack, they just stood a little bit too wide, and it's giving the chance to New Zealand's outside backs to come out of the line and shut the play down. Just a little bit of intelligence now for the wingers. The halves of Jamaica, Kieran Rush and James Woodburn Hall need to tell the wingers just to come in a little bit so they can get the timing right on the end of the line.
AJ Wallace got pinged there. You could argue that Joseph Manu basically let go of the ball once he felt a hand around it. Asifa Solomona on that run. Now inside the 30, Smith playing very direct. He can play as a dummy half, he can play as a middle forward. He's a very talented player, Brandon Smith. Foreign, they set up quickly. Nickel Klukstar, that's great defence. Outstanding stuff. Coming up, making the tackle. But still on for the Kiwis, the kick. Kenny Bromwich has got that in his game. He's a skillful back rower, and that was a deft kick there.
And they'll be really happy, Jamaica, with that. There was a real tempo about the Kiwis' play, especially when Brandon Smith got his hands on the ball, going at the line with some tempo, playing on the front foot, getting quick play of the balls, and then I think it was Greg Johnson who had to come up with a read as the right centre and shut the play down on Chance Nickel Klokstad. And now they've had to come away. They haven't conceded a try, and that's a win for them.
Line drop out, goes short. Of course they go short. Here they come. Juggled, lost by the Kiwis. They've knocked on. Jamaica's done it again. The Reggae Warriors, the kings of the short restart. The absolute kings, the best I've ever seen.
I don't know if Jordan did the research on the record, but we've got to be close to it.
That's it. That's sport.
I think we've got to take a look, haven't we? Like you said, Reggae Warriors, the king.
You had one job, Jordan. You had one job at half time.
He's the lead.
You've only got to go over 127 years. I mean, how much time do you want?
Let's get in.
So,
Numbers are here.
this scrum 15 metres out from their line. I will say, at this juncture, I'm feeling pretty good tonight. I'm feeling like a boss having had a pate butte on the way to the ground, Jordan.
Having a what, sorry?
Pate butte over there, across the way.
I have no idea what you're talking about, Bossy.
No, he's in Hull, isn't he? He's having a pate butte.
I think was that your attempt at a Jamaican accent?
Oh, come on. Give me something. I went to Viking Seafoods, and boy, oh boy, I was living the dream. On the 8th day, they've made the Viking Seafoods. Incredible stuff here. Mixing with the locals. One table, one round table, one chair, and I took it.
I think I actually know what you're trying to say now. You're trying to say a patty butty.
That's it. I wasn't saying a singer.
So you had a whole patty.
That's it. I went the pate butte with the fish. Then I went again. And it was good. It was really good.
I'll tell you, Vossi, if I see you again throughout this World Cup, I'll bring you a Jamaican patty.
Well, I won't say no. I don't know whether that comes as a surprise to you, but I'll say it. Bring it on. Bring it on. Is the Kiwis showing intent and attack. I'll finish the statement by saying I think Paddy Butties might have killed COVID a lot earlier than what we've done. That's how good they are. Now Smith, foreign, nice hands. Manu, oh, not nice hands. Put down. And the Kiwis make a mistake. Britton Nakora just got a bit rushed there. Not precise.
That's one of the things that I said that Michael Maguire will be looking at. So now you look at the game, now the intensity's gone out of the game. He'll be looking at his players that are switching off, and if you see Nakora there, his timing's just way off. He looked like he was caught lacking, and he was way in front of the fullback, and that's why he dropped the ball, because his timing was well off. It was a clinical opportunity there for New Zealand to go on and score, and I really don't think Michael Maguire will be happy with that.
No, you go first. You're getting tackled. I'm just running around making noise.
And Jamaica happy to just have things slowed down. I think it's Lawrence on his haunches in the back. The trainer was with him.
Let's jump on this.
There's Michael Maguire. He looked a cranky man the other night, the last 15 minutes against Lebanon. He looked actually like he was in pain. He was not liking what he saw. They gave away, 3 penalties in possession in the last 15 minutes of the game, New Zealand.
Yeah, and they had to rely on some Manu magic to get him out, and to change the scoreboard and tick it over a little bit. And yeah, you ask a lot, and you ask the players about how the camp's been. They're saying he does drive a really strict camp, and he demands high standards.
Well, it was with 15, 20 to go that they lost their way. You'd hate to think it would start now with 30 to go. You want to get better as the cup goes on. You don't want to take a backward step at this point. And here's Jamaica short of halfway. So just the one scoring play since half-time through 11 minutes. And again, they're having a crack. And right there from the Hunslet Hawks. Yet another one of the great clubs represented in this Rugby League World Cup. Actually picked up a Hunslet jersey last time I was here back in 2013.
Go, Fag.
I reckon I was the only bloke wearing a Hunslet jersey in Australia. Now Rush has kicked the ball, he's got it back. And that is caught around the neck. Thought the tackle count referee started, but no call. Might have been a bit unlucky there, Jamaica.
Yeah, it looked like a tough call on Kieran, but again, it's one of those recognising where the defenders are, getting a feel of what kick is needed at what time. And he just needed to get a step if he could, or go to pass and try and find James Woodman Hall.
Move, Joel, get out the rock.
I don't think Rush has ever had something so big running at him before, not unless he's been out somewhere in Africa and had a rhinoceros coming at him, but that was pretty awesome, having Nelson Asafa-Solomona like an eclipse in front of him, and it got all very dark there, and couldn't get the kick through.
Just a little bit of naivety from Kieran Rush, and he'll learn as this game goes on that to find his depth when he's kicking and also on his outside, just make sure his players are on the same wavelength and they know what's going on.
So the Kiwis putting it together this time. Bromwich on to Britton Nakora. He's been a consistent try gatherer for the Cronulla Sharks in the NRL. He got 8 tries this year. And here he is scoring for New Zealand, having dropped the ball on that previous set. He feels like he's had some redemption.
And they got the combination right. They got the combination of getting on the front foot, getting the defence on the back foot, and then getting the skill right when they went out to the edge. And it was Isaiah Papali'i who got them on the front foot, beat a couple of defenders, and allowed Brandon Smith to play out the back, sucking the defenders on the right-hand side. Dallin Watene-Zelezniak is wondering what's happened. Why we come in my side? We had all the joy in the first half. We're going out the other side now. Give us a crack. Jordan wants that watch.
Geez, we're all going to be getting DWK watches the way we're going at the moment. There it is, try to Britton Nakora.
I think you might bankrupt him, Vossi. You're promising everyone watches. Have you even spoken to him yet?
Well, no, I haven't actually, no. I threw that into the storytelling in the first half. Here he is, DWZ. What time is it? And he's got the goal. Coming up to about 10 minutes to 9 local time on a Saturday night. Good city to be in on a Saturday evening, Hull. And the Kiwis closing in on 50 points here with 26 minutes to go. Nothing much Jones Bishop could do there at the back. It was just Kiwi jumpers coming from all angles. Well, again, the forward depth on show for New Zealand. They've got a lot of props to pick from. They've got a lot of back rowers. I did notice from that kickoff, they absolutely stacked the short kickoff defensively. There were probably 8 players gathered around on the 10 And so Jamaica did the old switcheroo and went long and low. In the meantime, Foran has got him down the right. Watene Zelezniak backs himself again. Oh, he's been taken over the sideline. It won't matter anyway. They've got another one. New Zealand scoring back-to-back tries. Jeremy Marshall-King has a double. Dallin Watene Zelezniak is laying claim for a Man of the Match award.
And that was Big Nelson. Big Nelson with the offload. Just big man on small man. Had a couple of defenders on him, but a nice little offload out to Kieran Foran. And again, he had that feel. He knew just to draw the winger in, get Dallin Watene Zelezniak out here. That's the second time he's come up with a really smart, deft, accurate kick to set up the same bloke for a try. Jeremy Marshall-King.
A couple of reasons why that try happened. I think you mentioned the kick-off. It was a strange one from Jamaica, straight down the middle. Stacked the right-hand side with no one on the left-hand side of the pitch, and then they were short there for the very start of the set. Also, I just want to say, for people watching our game now who don't regularly watch the game, just appreciate the skill from Watene Zelezniak on the wing. You know, the modern day winger these days, you have to be able to do everything. The long gone are the days where you just had to be fast and run down the wing, but you've seen some unbelievable skills from him, being able to kick the ball and assist for his players on the inside, and being able to score and finish himself, and now he's kicking goals.
Well, he showed us a great diving finish in the first half. He got 3 tries of his own. He's put kicks in for tries, and now he's goal kicking. I was about to give him a rap, but then he serves up that tripe, and the score gets stuck at 50-0. But you're right about the skill, Jordan, and it's all done at speed too. I mean, that's what's in. It's done at speed with a defender coming at you, and it's pinpoint.
Full flight is so difficult, and Watene Zelezniak, don't get it wrong, he's very fast. Be able to put a kick on a sixpence like that, he's just, yeah, it's great to watch.
He almost done it again. They went hard and short that time, and only the skills of Joseph Manu stopped it. I almost want New Zealand to score a lot more tries, so I get to see more short kickoffs.
Yeah,
it's an incredible show.
I really think Michael Maguire won't be happy with them. Them short kickoffs are catching them out all the time.
Now Hiku as Watene Zelezniak in support. He's off again. He's kicked over the top. He's done a somersault. The Kiwis are running into each other. There was plenty of black and white jerseys there. And credit to the scramble of Jamaica. But Dallin Watene Zelezniak, I mean, he is, well, he's in the sort of form that he could, I'm sorry to bring it a watch analogy, but he could put his hand down the S-bend of a toilet and pull out a gold watch at the moment. He's on fire.
Some quality centre play by Pita Hiku to hold the winger off, find the right time. He hasn't quite got it right on a couple of occasions, but he got it right that time to find Dallin Watene Zelezniak, and we thought he was going to come up with another kick try. But you see all the Kiwis, and credit to the defenders as well, coming from everywhere.
And fair play to Andrew Simpson there for not giving up. You know, the score's 50-0. It'd be quite easy to give up and let New Zealand score another try, but he's tracking back. I think that's 3 try savers now. Pat on the back for Andre Simpson.
Thankfully, Dallin, you saw in that replay, he cramped up. It wasn't the hamstring going, he just cramped up badly at the moment he put the kick in.
It's because he's run that many metres. I think he's gone for nearly 300 metres.
Get him out some pickle juice or something. Help him out. Now Smith, Foran, they're coming his way again. He'll want to get rid of the cramp. Here he is. Oh, he got the cramp again. He's cramped up as he's diving for the line. Now he's walking around like a baby giraffe. I hope it's not the hammy. I think it is just a cramp. That's a painful try to watch that one.
Yeah, well, you know what, I'm pretty good at lip reading. I think he's just said he's hammy, which would be a shame for him because he's having a great game. It'd be a shame for him to go off now if he's saying it's his hammy, but great finish for him to be able to score there, whether it is cramp or whether he's actually done his hammy. It looks like he's struggling quite a bit. But
it's a hobbling dive for the corner. Watch this at the finish. He's gone here, he's gone. And he still gets a little bit of the acrobatics in. Well, it couldn't possibly be hamstring if he stays out there. I think it's cramp. Kieran Foran doesn't want another shot at goal.
You know what, Bossy? I think I've got it. I think I know what he's doing. It's the old rugby league trick. Willie knows. Willie knows. Yeah, look, he doesn't want to. Ami's gone. He doesn't want to kick. Look, now he's going down. Clever, smarts.
Nice work, Dallin Watene-Zelezniak. All righty, here you go. You want to back him in, Kieran Foran, Willie?
I'm backing him in.
He's backing him in. What's in your tea, Willie? What's in your tea? Here we go. Kieran Foran from the sideline. Crowd giving him the raz for a strike. Well, there you go.
Come on, Fossey.
You have witnessed a rugby league miracle in Hull. Kieran Foran from the sideline. At any old price, has kicked it over. Having been dumped as kicker at halftime, sacked. Gets recalled. And says, stick that up your jumper, Dallin. That's easy.
Always nice to back a roughie.
Well, Dallin Watene-Zelezniak now he's cramped up in both legs. Short kick off, Jamaica. Oh, that's one of the best defusals of the night by Joey Manu there. A clean catch. We haven't seen many of them by New Zealand from kickoffs. 56-0 as we go into the last quarter of the game. So it's certainly not going to be of the 110 kind of Australia v Russia back in 2000.
Go back. Play the ball.
A little sidelight to that, Jordan, just to educate you, give you a history lesson. The Russian and Australian anthem came on at the same time pre-match. It was very difficult. Both teams looking at each other, and the anthems were played at the same time. A cacophony of anthems. Very difficult for the Australian contingent in the Russian side too.
Thanks for that, Bossy.
Yeah, no problem.
I'd like to see what Kieran Rush is thinking right now, defending out on that left edge, defending in that three-man in position. When the Kiwis are running, Nelson Asofa-Solomona as the back rower out there now. We talk about the experience he's going to gain from tonight, and experience he's going to gain from playing against someone like him, but daunting task for him.
Saturday night massage for Dallin Watene-Zelezniak in Hull. As now Jamaica with the ball. 30 metres out, but not quite getting it right there. Dallin will go off the field on the far side. That's what you need to walk off a cramp. So he's off on the far side, and that's quite a change. Take off Watene-Zelezniak and Fisher Harris back into the game. We were told James mightn't be back, but I don't think they've got anyone else on the bench. That's what's happened there.
On the other side of the game, I just want to give a rap to Michael Lawrence and Ash Golding in the middle of the park. And, you know, in such a one-sided game, just still coming up with the little effort parts in the middle of the game. Both not been off the field, and just shows the consummate professionals that they are.
There's a lot of reasons for Huddersfield fans to be proud in this World Cup, isn't there? And what you saw today again of Dom Young, that runaway try at the finish. We're seeing some Huddersfield Giants players here for Jamaica as New Zealand stretching it across the field. Nickel Klukstar headed back to the centre. So they've passed 50, now for 60. The Kiwis. With 17 minutes to go. Fisher Harris tries to explode onto the ball there. Smith, left side. Marshall King. Good two-man tackle there. Last tackle, Kiwis. They're only small in goals. They mightn't try the dab. Smith bounced off a leg. The trap and scrap from the Jamaicans was spot on.
Yeah, disappointing end for the Kiwis to the set. I think they would have demanded a little bit more, either a contest or a repeat set, rather than a make-up kick into traffic. Just turning the ball over easy, too easy for Michael Maguire, I'd imagine.
Kick for the Cougar. Agura coming in for another run. The man that Jordan gave a rap to, Lawrence, getting a breather for Jamaica. There's Tomlinson taking that run. They're not exactly bursting with energy at the moment, but they're still trying. Marvin Thompson's out there in a dummy half role for them. Another one of the Dunhaney Park Red Sharks. They're my team in the local league. Kick over the top, and that time that is good scramble by the Kiwis. Joel Farrell was certainly close to getting it, but it was good work from Papali'i to cut it off. And New Zealand ball, they start a set just inside their own half. So this was about the point where things turned to you-know-what against Lebanon for the Kiwis. Manu kept it alive there, late offload. And another offload to Marshall King. Another offload, it finds Kenny Bromwich. That's 3 in a row. And he gets them to within 21 metres of the line. Now Smith, short side, Manu with it. By and large, well contained by the Jamaicans tonight. I've seen him dismantle NRL opponents more convincingly than he has done against Jamaica tonight, so credit to their defenders. I think there was 4 in that tackle, and they've come away with the ball. Bailey, yes, I think he's saying 4 in the tackle and a strip. Didn't quite work. Still slows it down. James Fisher-Harris, 5 metres away from the line, so there's no Watene Zelezniak anymore. He won't be adding to the try tally. Smith from dummy half, and he has managed to get it down. Brandon Smith, try is locked in. Now, if they hadn't have used their challenge earlier, they could actually challenge that if it is awarded a try on the spot at this World Cup, which is something NRL fans wouldn't be familiar with, but sadly they burnt their challenge in the first half.
And I think he needed to come up with this try. He initially looked out to the left-hand side, which was probably the wrong option. As he come down here, thought he was down the blind alley, but then put the brakes, put his foot down, went through a couple of defenders and put the ball down. He's run hard tonight when he's had the ball in his hands. Hasn't made the right decision every time, but that time just decided to go for it and gets himself a reward in the form of a try and an easier kick for Kieran Foran.
Yeah, some tired efforts there, but the Jamaica boys can really hold their heads high. I think what you see in here is, let's not forget, some of the Jamaica boys, semi-pro, some not even pro. You've seen it up against some of the best in the world. So I think now you're seeing the fitness levels of where New Zealand are at, and part of the back for Jamaica for keeping it a contest. Sort of contest up until this point. Just keep digging in there, keep going, Jamaica boys.
Absolutely. To a point where, look, I think, will have grown in confidence when they play next week against Lebanon. I mean, there's no fear. I mean, they may as well come out. All these tricks they've shown us, put it all into one effort again. That won't be a walkover. Here they go, short kick-off, broken the plane, ball is there, Jamaica will get it back, you bloody beauty. The Jamaicans have got the ball again. Well, look, I don't care, whatever you come up with your research back to 1895, there is no way any side has got the ball back so many times from restarts in history. I'll bet my life on it.
I think you're right. I think they could start off a revolution in rugby league. Yeah. Everyone's going to be doing it.
Everyone's going to do the Jamaican. And I tell you what, credit to the actual kicker-offerer. Rush is nailing it. He's gone the distance every time. That wasn't the scooper, as Willie called it. That was perfect. So they've got the ball 20 metres out. Can Jamaica score? They're going to have a crack here. Line is set to the left. The kick through again. It's early in the count. Manu now at fullback comes up with a ball. Well, do they understand the expression sustaining pressure? Build up of pressure.
I think Vossi, I think the coaching staff of Jamaica probably would have said we're not going to be able to sustain pressure, so we need to come up with some off-cuff plays to be able to score tries. I actually think that was a great kick from Kieran Rush. Right time, right place. Centre, winger and back row just off the pace a little bit. I think if he was up there in the line, they could have at least got Joey Manu and caught him in the in-goal, or even, scored a try. Could have been in a position to score a try, but I think he was a little bit off the pace. But
well, we've got a captain challenge here. New Zealand had one up the sleeve, so Britton Nakora said to his captain, you can fire in the challenge. Let's have a listen to this.
Okay, video referee to director. New Zealand are challenging the decision of a knock-on. I'm looking for your best angle, including the ball, to determine if the ball is lost or not. He's in possession at this point. Have you got a reverse angle on that? He's entitled to wrap the ball and come out on the move call. So we're looking to determine if the ball is stolen or whether he's just pulling his arm out of the tackle, which he is entitled to do. Okay, he's just pulling his arm out of the tackle. The challenge is unsuccessful.
Scrum, Jamaica. No challenges remaining.
Look after possession a little better than that. I always make the point they can lift small cars in the gym. They're entitled to hang on to a football with a little more strength.
100% big onus and responsibility on the ball carrier to have control in those situations.
So removing his arm from the tackle rather than actually trying to strip the ball was part of the verdict. So no more challenges. And this is a great attacking opportunity. Straight from the scrum. Little stepping there from Woodburn Hall. If you like going for the underdog, get up off your lounge right now and see what they do in this set. Get some positive juju going. See if they can come up with a 4-pointer. They're in front of the Kiwi post now. It will be Tomlinson to play it. There's no great speed to the play the ball. Maybe a set restart coming their way in a moment. This time offload Andrade and then back to centre field. But Kiwis just waiting there. Bailey tackled with the ball. So not their most adventurous set now. And to the right side of the ruck. That time Marshall King was up first. May have been hurt, the Jamaican attacker there. He winced in pain, Woodburn Hall. 15 from the line to centre field. Rush is kicking early again. And it's his worst kick of the night. Well, Jordan, I don't want to be the bearer of bad news, but the shock tactic of the kick before the last at the 9th attempt is no longer a shock tactic. Can you pass that on, please?
I'll try my best. Yeah, but again, though, if you look at the kick, it was on. It was on. It was just a disconnect there between Ben Jones-Bishop. Kieran Rush went high, and I think Ben Jones-Bishop thought the ball was going to go along the floor. It was on. It's just a little bit disconnected. And it's disappointing because I feel like that was a try-scoring opportunity.
For Jamaica, I think they're better up that end when James Woodburn Hall, his halfback partner Kieran Rush and Ben Jones-Bishop, when they're in connected and they play together, when they get on each other's shoulders and they're able to string a play together, that's when they've had more joy. The split halves hasn't quite worked for them tonight.
Isaac Liu back on and tackled 20 metres away from the line. Here they come, the Kiwis, at 62-0. So they can go past the tallies of the weekend. Oh, Smith's caught again. He's rolled it in goal. And a credit to... Oh, they've locked it in. Referee Griffiths has seen ball on grass and says, Brandon Smith, you've got another 4-pointer just through brute strength and determination.
I love him. I love this kid and the way he plays and how he goes about his football. He's not the biggest player on the field, but he has a massive heart. And you said it, a lot of it's just through sheer determination and wanting to beat his opponent, and that's how he got over the line. He spotted an opportunity to sneak out. There were a couple of defenders there almost holding him up, but he had enough will about him to get the ball down and get the 4-pointer again. Great determination from Brandon Smith.
Try double to Brandon Smith, who next year will be playing for the Sydney Roosters, coached by Trent Robinson in the NRL. So he goes from the Craig Bellamy coach Melbourne Storm to Trent Robinson. I mean, two of the super coaches of the modern era, coaching this fella, Brandon Smith. Foran with another 2. He's that's 3 in a row for Kieran Foran. And that means it's now going up in 6s, and New Zealand closing in on the, 84 of the Kangaroos last night against Scotland.
And the other thing about Brandon Smith and his part in our game as a whole, he's a genuine character. He's a genuine character who sells our game. and people love him for that, for being himself and what he brings and the laughs that he creates.
The cheese, Willie. Here's the cheese. Here we go. Here we go. It's put up into the air. It's knocked down. Get the ball, Jamaica. Yes, knock on New Zealand. They spin the chocolate wheel again, and they've got another prize. They'll be going home with big fluffy toys tonight, the Jamaicans, with this effort. They've done it again. I mean, it's been from the very first kickoff of the night. They're dead set batting at about 80%. Michael Maguire's entitled to leave these Kiwis out here after full time and go out and put the ball down and do little short kickoffs at them. Said, fellas, we're going to have to improve here. Nickelcock stuck just shaking his head.
And on the other side of it, you mentioned it before, Kieran Rush has been outstanding at it.
He gets the 10 every time.
He had the one scooper.
Yeah,
he didn't quite get it right, but
he had the one scooper. He showed us a low, hard one to the sideline that almost went there. So they get another chance inside the New Zealand half. It's a great contrast to Scotland last night. Jamaica's had plenty of tackles inside the Kiwis half. Woodburn Hall offloading to Lawrence.
Move together. Back with me.
Again, his effort. Big pats on the back for the front rower. So working right side. Ball on the bounce. Agoro with it. But plenty of Kiwi jerseys there. Keep their line intact with 5 minutes to go. Woodburn Hall across. They build it up nicely. Rush's pass was line ball. Out with Simpson and headed towards the sideline. Hiku on him. Last tackle. So they haven't kicked. The message went across. Don't kick before the last. They've got a result. They've got a result. It's there for Jamaica. Yes. Have a look at the reaction. Ben Jones Bishop. Kiwi players on the deck. Hold the front page on the Jamaican Post. There's your front page story. Jamaica, first ever try at a Rugby League World Cup. And it goes to one of their greats. A man who's been there from day one just about. Ben Jones Bishop. Even the trainers are celebrating.
As you say, no one more deserving for Jamaica than Ben Jones Bishop than him to score this try tonight. For what he's done for the game in Jamaica and the jersey and the sacrifices and the dedication he's made to get the team to where they are tonight. Really happy for Bish. You know, wonderful try, great persistence. And the technical side of it, they waited till last play. They played out the set, they were persistent, they kicked it on last play, and they get a reward.
The last tackle kick was the shock tactic. You see?
Kiwis
They've done the reverse.
That got him on the reverse psychology.
That's it. And Ben Jones Bishop, well, no better man than Jordan Tennant to talk about what has just unfolded, Jordan, there with Ben Jones Bishop at 34 years of age, has the honour of scoring that first try.
The best moment of the World Cup. You know, Ben Jones Bishop on his 300th appearance gets to write his name in the Rugby League history books with the first ever try for Jamaica in a World Cup. What a fitting tribute to him. He's a lot of adversity throughout his career. He'll be able to tell you he had some quite serious injuries that he's managed to come through, and now he's come through the other side and reaping the benefits towards it. And I think anyone that'll tell you that what a lovely guy Bish is, I think he's got such a reputation in the game of being such a great guy.
Well, you can watch it over and over and over again. Rush's kick, put down by Smith. Determination to get through. And get it down. Yes, indeed. That's a great World Cup moment.
There was a clip last week that went around of a bar, I think it was in Athens, when Greece scored the try. I'd love to see some of the reactions, if there is, in Kingston, and people watching the game, of the fans back in Jamaica watching this and how they celebrated that.
There'll be plenty of street parties watching this, Willie, in Kingston, don't you worry about that.
I'm just checking the family tree to see if I got any Jamaican blood there. I'm happy to join in. You know, I'll just, you know. A Voss with dreadlocks. I don't think there's ever been one, but...
Let him try the beef patty first.
Yeah.
Now, Jordan, you have the job of picking the man of the match as well. That's your job, the Kazoo man of the match. So we'll play it like a game show. Well, you can come back in about 30 seconds with an answer.
I think my mind's made up already. Yeah.
Well, there we go.
Yeah. Just
Let's fire away then.
Give some raps out though for the other players in the game who I think have made telling contributions. In Peter Rick, who's been dangerous all night and sort of had to go on the wing and adapt to what he's doing. He's run for over 160 metres. And Sebastian Chris and Joey Manu, look at his stats, 22 carries, been involved in everywhere in the game. But my man of match I have to go for is Watin Zelezniak. As I said, the modern day winger, he's portrayed everything, every skill that the modern day winger has to have in today's game, and fantastic game from him. And it's a shame that he had to go off because we was enjoying watching him, and hopefully I'll get a watch.
Yeah.
If he knows that I'm voting for him for the man of the match, I'll get a watch.
His phone will be going off at the end of the game saying, what about all those mentions for those watches? Well, look, they've got one try. Who's to say they can't get another? That they can't get to double figures. 68-6. They have a full set of 6 here. 25 metres out from the New Zealand line. And now we're all Jamaican supporters. Even some of the Kiwis are cheering for the Jamaicans here now. Great sportsmanship on show. 22 metres away from the line. Marvin Thompson takes them left side. And they are still having a go. Jones Bishop put down. They're inside the 20. Big lineup is set to the right. This is where you look for the likes of Woodburn Hall to put his stamp on it. Their kick before the last. They've gone back. They've gone back to the kick on the third. Willie.
Yeah, gone back to trying the old try to not test it.
That's right.
They got the joy. I thought they were going to wait out the set and play it out. They've got 20 seconds now, probably 2 plays.
Maybe a kick from the scrum.
Kick from the scrum. Yeah, well.
Let's go.
We will see where we go from here. Well, it's been entertaining. It's been good fun.
Yeah, it's going to be this side here.
There's been some lovely moments in this game. And here, the Jamaicans, they will kick on the first. They will kick on the first. Well, we've had world records for ball back after restarts, and we've certainly got the world record for most kicks before the last tackle in a match ever. And this is the last play of the game. Well done, New Zealand. Well done, Jamaica. Well done, the fans that have come along to Hull tonight. It's been good entertainment. New Zealand 2 from 2 at the Cup. They can get better. They will need to get better. But it's still a convincing scoreline. New Zealand 68, Jamaica 6. And for the record, it is 34 points in each half for the Kiwis. But the big difference there inside the last 5, Jamaica coming up with a try. Look at the smiles. Look at that is Marvin Thompson there, the young hooker, with a smile on his face, like he's meeting a potential hero here. Have a look at him. I mean, he's got backstage at a concert here, watching the superstars.
Yeah, Vossi, a lot of people won't actually realise where some of these boys come from. I've been back to Jamaica, and certain places, such a rural place, and they will have had a lifetime of watching this on the TV, and it's become a reality for them tonight. And it's so good to see them wanting to swap the shirts and having a great time at the end of the game.
All right, let's go down to Ross. He's with our Kazoo man of the match right now.
Watane Zelezniak, player of the match. Congratulations, what a performance.
Yeah, thanks, mate. It's good to be back out there again. It's been a while since I've been in the black jersey, so yeah, it's good to get the win tonight and be back playing with the Kiwis.
And scoring tries for fun. What a partnership with Hiku down that right-hand side.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been able to play with Pet. We played back in Penrith together, and enjoyed my time then, and some fun times then and some fun times tonight. So yeah, it's good to be back with him.
And you're through to the quarterfinals of the Rugby League World Cup. What an experience.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's World Cups don't come around very often, so to be able to be in another one and
being a quarter-final, it's special, and loving my time.
And what's the plan for next week then?
Well, go in and refresh and see what we got wrong in this game and what we need to improve on, and get ready for Ireland next week.
And just a quick word on your minor injury. You came hobbling off. Just a bit of cramp?
Yeah, it was in both, so I'm not too sure. It felt like a cramp, but just wasn't settling. So I think we'll just see the doc, see what he has to say. But it's more likely looking like cramp. Yeah.
Well, congratulations tonight, and you go off and celebrate. Thanks very much.
Can I just give a quick shout out to my wife? I love you, hun, and to my kids. Daddy loves you, and I can't wait to see you.
Nice one. Thanks very much. Cheers, mate.
Lovely touch, and it is a proud New Zealand heritage with Dallas.